you like that?
What's up, my little flowers? Welcome back to hell. Well, we are back with the second installment of responding to unpopular K-pop opinions that I found on Reddit. I know that these kind of videos are a bit of an overdone trend, but I genuinely enjoy doing them. I like having and sharing my opinions on topics within the K-pop community, and you guys seem to enjoy it as well. Thanks for all the love on the recent video, by the way. It means so much. So, before we begin, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It literally takes 1 second, but it makes my entire day. I wanna make something clear before we begin. Just like I did in the first video, these are opinions, and opinions are subjective, and everyone is entitled to those opinions. So, please don't get mad at each other or at me in the comments. If you want to share your own opinion if it differs from the things I said, then please do so. But just make sure you take other people's rights to have different opinions into account before you say anything hurtful. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. Alright, enough of that. Let's get started. Number 1. No one deserves to debut. It does not matter if someone has trained for 1 month or 10 years. Whoever is the best should debut. Training is just there to improve their skills. It does not guarantee anything. Alright, so, I can understand what this person is saying, but there are parts I disagree with. I agree that no one is entitled to anything. Just because a trainee is accepted into the training program, doesn't mean that they are promised that they will debut. Just like in other ordinary, everyday, life situations. Just because you are accepted into an internship in a company doesn't mean you are entitled to a job after. I think most people would agree with that. What I do have a problem with though is the training period. I feel like if a company thinks that they might not debut a trainee, then they should let them go rather than stealing 10 years of their life. I mean, that just feels a little too long for me. Cause if I was a trainee, and I devoted 10 plus years of my life to a company, and dropped out of school for it and everything, and they told me that basically I wasted my time, I would be furious. Yes, I understand that these trainees probably know that they are taking a risk signing up for these programs, but still I feel like a decade is a bit too long. But that's just my opinion. Number 2. Monsta X is at EXO/BTS level, talent wise. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my god, I really love this opinion. So, I'll explain why I agree with this, but let me make something clear first. I am an ARMY, a Monbebe, and a fan of EXO. So, I am not saying that Monsta X is better than either of these groups. I genuinely believe that they all excel in different fields. So, here's my take on this opinion. We are not talking about levels of success, because clearly, BTS and EXO are more popular and well known than Monsta X. That's just a fact, and one that I will admit is true even though I stan Monsta X. But we are talking about talent. I really believe that Monsta X is one of the most talented K-pop groups out there. They have good vocals, very attractive members, lovable personalities, a good connection with their fans. They are one of the only groups that I have seen actually do an all-English album successfully as well. Now, being able to make an English album does not equal success or talent in the K-pop industry, and I'm not saying that it should, but what I am saying is that they are a more mature group who can sing in another language without it being cringy lyrics. I would also like to go on record and say that I believe that Monsta X has one of the best rap lines in the industry currently. If you have never listened to them, please go do that. I slept on them for a long time, but now I recognize the pure talent. The two rappers just juxtapose each other so well. Their styles work so well together. Also, this group was formed through one of the harshest reality shows I have ever seen. Like, literally, here is your warning before watching it. There is literally a part where I believe the judges had just gotten rid of a rapper and cut him from the competition, and then immediately turn around and introduce a new competitor who is entering the race, and he's a rapper. So the other members felt betrayed, angry, and like it was unfair for the new rapper, to come into the competition late, and they treated him pretty badly. He would later debut in the final lineup and is a current member of Monsta X. So to watch him and the other members go through that was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Side note, that is not a reason to hate on the other members. I see a lot of people get angry with the way they treated but they had every right to be upset at the competition and the judges, and all the members love each other so much now, so I just wanna make that clear. We stan all 7 members of Monsta X in this household, so overall, I believe that this is a group who deserves more than they have been given. They are phenomenal, and I think it is fair to put them next to an artist like BTS talent-wise. Now, that being said, I think that BTS are more successful for many reasons, all of which are valid, but a huge one being storytelling, as this comment puts it. Where I think they fall short compared to BTS is developing more complex concepts and narratives in their music. So, overall, stan all 3 groups. I love each of them for specific reasons, but yes, I believe Monsta X has talent that is up there with much bigger groups. Good job boys. Stan Kings. Number 3. Mullets are nice. Yes. You all might hate me for saying this, but there are actually some really attractive mullets in K-pop right now. Here's some examples for your viewing pleasure. If you would have asked me a few years ago if I could ever find a mullet attractive, I would have hit you upside the head for asking a stupid question. I genuinely was disgusted by the idea of a mullet, but now, something in me has changed, and these are straight up looks. I'm not saying everyone should wear a mullet though, because you have to have a certain kind of confidence and facial structure to pull off this look, but these are definitely some nice looks. Number 4. The BTS paved the way narrative is kinda racist and US centric. Alright, this person literally wrote a whole essay and I'm not going to show all that, so I'll show some important points to discuss within the argument. Here are a few of their points. The BTS pave the way thing doesn't sit right with me. I mean, this is literally the peak of need for Western validation. K-pop was already popular in other countries. My friend from South America, Brazil, had posters of SNSD during 2010. K-pop was already popular in Korea and Asia. It was already popular within the Asian American community. But people are saying, X group paved the way now that white people from America have noticed it. Yeah, K-pop wasn't as popular as it is now. Again, this doesn't mean that BTS's success in the West is a bad thing. And yes, they have made it easier for groups to have Western popularity, but there's a problem when armies use their Western success to say they paved the way for K-pop. K-pop does not need white approval. US success shouldn't affect the success of a K-pop group. Okay, so, there is a lot to address there, and I mean a lot, and this is probably a rather controversial topic. I guess let me just state a few things first. The statement that K-pop does not need white validation is completely true. I 100% agree that no foreign media needs validation from white people. It doesn't. And I get so mad when people, usually white, but not always, won't listen to foreign music or watch foreign TV shows or media because they don't like subtitles. I mean, if you don't want to listen to music you don't understand, then as much as I wish you would have a more open mind and give the music a try, you don't have to, and you are fully entitled to that position. But I also see a lot of people not giving K-pop a chance because of some racist shit, and let me make it clear that that is not okay. So, no, K-pop doesn't need white validation, and I don't think it should seek white approval either, and I don't really think it is seeking white approval. That's why they still sing in Korean. If K-pop artists wanted white approval, specifically white American approval, then I feel like they would have made their careers by singing in English. Okay, now to get onto the argument that the BTS paved the way narrative is racist and US centric. I'm not going to comment much on whether BTS actually paved the way or not, because that is not the opinion being argued here, and I know it is one that can make people rather upset. So, no, I don't think that the BTS paved the way thing is racist, and we'll get more into that in a minute. The BTS paved the way argument is US centric though, like, of course it fucking is. That's literally what the argument is about, is whether or not BTS made it easier for K-pop groups in America specifically. So, of course it's US centric. That's common sense. Now, whether or not we like it, America, more specifically Hollywood, is the biggest music industry in the world. That is just a fact. So, yes, if artists want to continue their success, they naturally set their eyes on conquering the American market. I made a post on Twitter about this, but it was kinda long, so I'll shorten it. It is extremely hard for people of color to get recognition in the American music industry. Hell, in any industry really. It is already hard for Asian people, who are born in America and have grown up surrounded by American culture, to get big on the charts. Now, if it is already hard for them, imagine how hard it is to make it in the industry from a whole other country, especially one where everything is completely different from the culture, marketing, companies, the way singers/rappers are chosen, album packaging, everything is different. And they still manage to overcome all of that and make it bigger than a lot of American artists in their own industry. That's a huge fucking thing that BTS did, and they deserve respect for that. They are one of, if not the biggest artists on the planet, and that's so insane, and I'm so proud. It should be said though, that, just because BTS are huge, and have introduced a lot of new people to K-pop, doesn't mean that other K-pop artists either before BTS or after BTS are any less valid in their accomplishments, and I think everyone should recognize that. Stop pitting your faves against each other. That's clown shit. Lift each other up with positivity. Now, our final point to discuss in this argument. No, the BTS paved the way argument is not racist. In the long version of this post they essentially said something like, armies that are happy that BTS are being successful in America need to stop seeking white validation. I'd just like to say that while yes, in America, there's a lot of fucking white people, by saying that BTS wanting to become popular in America is seeking white validation is in fact the inherently racist statement, because you are completely ignoring all of the people of color in America that support BTS. I also think that the majority of their audience in America are people of color, by the way, so just because BTS targeted the American audience, it does not make them or armies that support them doing so racist ideas. Alright, get ready, because the next opinion is fucking insane. Everyone buckled in? Okay, get ready. Number 5. People who judge K-pop idols and fans for wanting pale skin are colorists themselves. People have a preference on skin color. People who make rants or videos saying we need to talk about skin whitening products literally are judging people's preferences. It's not your place to tell people what to do to themselves. Of course, here in Asia, we like to have fair skin. Why make an issue out of it when we don't hold Western countries accountable for achieving tanned skin? Although I am quite fair, I want to be more fair. It's my preference. There's no toxicity to it. It's like people saying they want their hair longer. So, don't make a huge deal on idols using skin whitening products. It's not your place to dictate us on what to do, and don't say things like it's colorist. Our histories are different. We don't judge people who go tanning when it causes cancer. And if you want to bring in your history and perspective and equate it with ours, forget it. We don't have the same histories. I genuinely don't even know where to fucking start on this mess. So bear with me. This deserved its whole own video, so I might miss a few points. But I'm going to try and explain why this person is extremely wrong. I'll start with history. So, this person said that they are from an Asian country, and that the history is different from American history, so we can't use Western ideals to explain why this is bad. Well, here's where you're wrong. Yes, America has a different history with race than say a country in Asia, because America is literally mixed with so many cultures and skin colors, and most Asian countries, besides the capital or big cities, are primarily inhabited by Asian people. This does not, however, mean that there cannot be discrimination based on skin color in an Asian country. There still is plenty of it, I promise. It's just based on different things. Two big examples I can personally think of are colonization and class division. In Asian countries that were colonized by white people for a very long time, such as India for example, they still might view paler skin as the beauty ideal because they still have the years of oppression and discrimination burned in their minds and culture. If you're told that one thing is more beautiful for literally centuries, you're going to have lasting thoughts from that time. The mental trauma and abuse doesn't just go away. Another reason why colorism exists in Asian countries is class division. When poor people were darker skin toned because they were outside a lot more working, and rich people could afford to be inside and be pale. So, to ignore colorist ideals on the Asian continent is a highly uneducated viewpoint. Next, individual preference. Yes, technically, if you want to use skin whitening products on yourself, No one can stop you. It is your body, and you can technically do that if you want. But please ask yourself why you want to. No one is born believing that paler equals prettier. It is put into their heads by society, because it is in itself a societal construct. Please don't change your skin color for other people, or because you think it will make your life better or make you more attractive. I hope that everyone can learn to embrace their natural skin tone, because each and every color out there is fucking beautiful, and skin lightening products can literally be dangerous and have huge health risks. So please learn to love yourself and say fuck you to everyone else. Which I know is easier said than done. Now, idols and their skin color. If an idol wants to lighten their skin tone through products, it is a little different than an ordinary person. Because yes, they are the owner of their body, and can technically do whatever they want to it, but they are idols. Which means they have a huge influence on their fans, specifically younger fans. So if an idol wanted to use those products, they are indirectly sending the message to their impressionable fans that they think paler skin is more attractive. So, no, idols shouldn't just use those products because they have a preference. They have a huge platform that they have to use wisely, and their companies should remember this as well. Alright, I covered as much as I could without making this video 2 hours long. I think that will be the last opinion we cover today. I know that a lot of these opinions this time around were more about societal pressures in K-pop rather than specific groups. But it is important to discuss these things, because they are a big part of the industry in general. The next unpopular opinions video will be more about groups, so leave your suggestions and opinions for that video in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. The growth in subscribers has meant so much lately, and I literally have 38 subscribers. Thank you so much. Make sure to check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye.